knowing damn well how bad it hurts to expose yourself. Someone's too immersed in their own pain to go and fucking feel yours. If my heart wasn't broke, I'd have gladly healed yours. But this ain't real love, we are just children pretending to be grown. So maybe we can feel love, but this ain't that. It's delayed indifference, and I wish it was different, but it just...
Hello, friends! So, it's early in the year, and I'm looking through and planning out this fairly massive production schedule for my YouTube channel, Curiosity Cubed. And it dawns on me that I've been creating online content since 2005. Yes, long before there was any of the software that's around today. So I further realized that translates into like hundreds of courses and hundreds of hours of online content. So what I did is I looked through a lot of it, and I picked my top 10 most interesting, most fulfilling, most really cool courses / projects from the last 15 years. Enjoy.
Can we just skip to the end? I just want to feel again.
Number 6. There obviously is a multitude of projects I did with VIPKID, but this one I'm particularly proud of. So we had to look through and focus on help the teachers who'd been teaching a certain way for a number of years actually at this point. Why we were doing L7 and what the major shifts were going to be. So content, research, and development. You'll see samples of all this shortly. Research the teachers that we had. Of the 50,000 teachers, how many did we want to? We were going to do a pilot. We only wanted the cream as such to do this. So we went through within our own systems to identify who that was, and we were screening the teachers. So we went from 40,000 down to 3,000 who we thought from our own KPIs fit the system. 600 were asked to send in their current resume and teaching certification, and I reviewed them all, and from that chose 300 to go into the pilot. We then sent them through a series of G forms that you'll see in the sample, and that they would complete. Quick synopsis of the L7 prep material as I put it out in Google Forms. So the intro slide here talks about the 5 different sections. There's their sign-in process. We have the overview video, which I'm going to let you see some very quick snippets of it now. So why are we making a level 7? Well, pretty obvious. We have a number of level 6 students who are either finished or are finishing. Plus, we also realize that there is a need for content for much higher level students as well for all ages. So this is sort of a bit of a test case and a bit of a proving ground to show how we can do that with our delivery system. Standard alignment. So you see the current levels 1 through 6 where they fit in with the Common Core, Cepher, English, Chinese National Standards, and the Lexile scale. You can see where level 7 fits in there. If you want a little bit more specifics, we'll go to here. So it aligns with the CCSS grade 4 and 5. You can see where the percentages are now based on some of these changes, how it aligns with the CNS. And again, for older students, this is very important for parents to realize that our material is not just aligned with Common Core, but it's also aligning more and more with the Chinese National Standard. So it's sort of like better bang for the buck. They're not just getting really excellent English instruction, but they're getting strategies and skills to help them with their own public school system. And then where it aligns with Cepher. Maybe a review. For others, this might be an introduction. I'm not going to go into it much here. It is in the materials later on here. But so a classic education where, as you can see here, it's not just about learning facts. It's now analyzing information. It's critical thinking. It's how to infer, draw conclusions. And we have here the concepts of the grammar, the rhetoric, and the logic. The grammar is usually for younger ages. We are dealing with the logic and processing and understanding phase here. And then later levels would actually get into the rhetoric and the output. Now, for those of you who have not taught level 1 or level 2 interactive, or we're part of the level 3 testing, the new material is based on what's called an IPAED. There are no 5 E's here in level 7. And in all the new material, the interactive material as it's being developed around something called IPAED. It is really a much better system and much easier to follow and much more methodical in its layout. So you have introduce, practice, apply, extend, which is also used sort of as a review, and then demonstrate. And this is where you can see what is teacher-led and what is student-led. So it's a little bit about the class structure, and it's all about reader-based, right? We read to learn, not learn to read. Again, sort of an overview. It's all a very different look. The graphics are much older. Obviously the language. There's a lot of reading. It's just a very, very different look to anything that we've put out before. Okay, so here's what we're wanting you to do. You're going to work through the material in this Google form, successfully complete the 3 assignments. 2 are short written assignments. 1 is a short video assignment. Successfully completion on that, we'll review all the material. As a final piece, we reviewed all of the answers from the G form. If there were any issues, sometimes there was technical issues. Occasionally there was something that some assignments were great and one was a little odd, so we would do something to clarify. And then they would go in and get their L7s. And then when we finished, we went through the thank you for supporting and got some of their feedback, and these are their responses. So overall, did you find this material helpful? You'll see that the majority were in the 5 and 6, which is very helpful, extremely helpful. What was interesting is the breakdown of which section did you find most helpful. So you can see different groups of teachers found different sections more helpful. Maybe it was because it was allowing them to fill gaps in what their background and training was, or it was mostly going to help them in preparing for their lesson. Teachers loved it. Students loved it. Parents loved it. It was amazing.
Knowing damn well how bad it hurts to expose yourself. Someone's too immersed in their own pain to go and fucking feel yours. If my heart wasn't broke, I'd have gladly healed yours. But this ain't real love. We are just children pretending to be grown, so maybe we can feel love, but this ain't that. It's delayed indifference, and I wish it was different, but it